Hi, and welcome back to Bourbon Blind, where you guys pick what the guys drink. And as always, the guys aren't going to know what they're drinking. I'm going to pour a bottle, put it in the bag, hide it away. They're going to tell you what they think. They're going to tell you what they think the bottle's worth, and give you some honest opinions. Tonight, our bottle does come from Brad Henderson. And by the way, I have a huge, I'm so sorry. I mixed up my bottles. I don't drink a whole lot of bourbon. And the bottle that he wanted to see, unfortunately, he didn't get to see that night. But you will get to see it tonight. So, with that being said, let me pull a bottle and we'll get this party started. So, this is tonight's bottle, and like always, I can't really say what it is because they're over there, and, well, it wouldn't be much of a surprise if I tell them what it is. So, we're going to pour this out and let them tell you what they think of it. And as always, please feel free to leave us a comment in the comment section or drop us an email at bourbonblindtasting@gmail.com. I believe that's right. And tell us what you like about the show, what you don't like about the show, what bottles you want to see, and all the rest of that good stuff. And I think that's about all I need to say. I got our glasses. No short pours anymore.
So cool.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Bourbon Blind. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Jay.
We taste whiskey. Aaron told you what's up. We tell you what we think we'd be willing to pay for a bottle without knowing the influence of the label. So we know when we drink stuff, how much should we be buying this or not. So with that being said, let's get in here. Coat the glass right away. Some really thick legs on that.
For sure, yeah.
I mean,
Definitely clinging to the sides. Very, very nice. And it's dark. It's very
it's dark. It's like a copper mahogany kind of color. Interesting nose right off the bat.
A lot going on.
Yeah, there is. Not so much your standard bourbon notes of caramel, butterscotch, that kind of stuff, vanilla, but more in the...
It's a little bit of a tobacco, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Some tobacco. Some leather, or...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Leather and...
You think the... Maybe plummy? It's very plummy.
Definitely. Definitely some plum. Nailed that one.
It's bright.
Like a... Almost like a cigar kind of...
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm going to get into this. Cheers, guys. Oh, man. There is a lot going on there.
It's smooth.
Mm-hmm.
It is very smooth, but even more enhanced is that tobacco flavor.
Yeah, it is.
I'm for sure picking up on... It's very dark, very tannic.
A little bit dry on the finish, not bad. I like more of like that oily kind of coat your mouth. Some people like the dry tannin finish. Usually some like your wine drinkers, I find. They like that tanny.
Doesn't have a... There's almost no burn to it whatsoever. It's and then not very acid either.
No, it's got a lot of flavor though.
It's very flavorful.
It's a lot of flavor.
Little vanilla. Woody.
Mm-hmm.
It's woody.
So, a lot of times I don't like to try and guess what things are, or even think about it for that matter. But on this one, I'm really getting like some kind of, almost like a port finish is what it reminds me of.
Yes.
Like a port or sherry finish. Like, so you get a lot of those dark fruit notes, like the plum.
Yes.
That definitely follows through to the taste.
I can definitely taste that.
Oh, I like it.
It's very complex.
I really do.
Almost has a little bitter on the finish, though.
That fruit and the taste. And then it kind of develops into that leather and tobacco-y, and back to the fruit a little bit. Back to the fruit.
It's got a nice, long, warm finish.
Yeah, I can still feel it going all the way down. I like it. I like it when it gives you that nice Kentucky hug all the way down.
Kentucky hug. That's a good one. I haven't heard that before.
Really?
No, I never heard that.
Apparently that's a thing.
Kentucky hug.
That's what it's called. That warmth going down in your chest is the Kentucky hug.
I learned something. It is really delicious. Not a lot of ethanol.
I just want to keep smelling it.
Yeah.
Like,
it's definitely
I just want to keep going back in it. Like,
I could for sure see drinking this in a nice, quiet, cigar lounge somewhere.
by a fire.
Oh yeah. The burnt wood.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. It's definitely charred wood.
Mm-hmm. Like more from the taste of the finish, you get that charred wood as it's developing into that finish. And the finish is pretty long on this one.
It's great.
It just stays with you. It keeps going.
And it changes. It's just it's fluctuating. It goes, nutty, fruity, tobacco, fruity.
Mm-hmm. That fruity kind of just stays in there. The dips are, I don't want to say dips, but like you get that like fruity and then a taste, and then a fruity and then a flavor, and then a fruity and then a flavor, and it's kind of a fun little ride there.
It's delicious. Goes back to what you were saying though. That fruit is probably something to do with
some sort of finish.
A wine finished barrel of some kind. Yeah. So I'm gonna hit it with a drop of water.
Yep.
See what that does.
Hit it with a dollop. Do a little dollop.
Dollop.
Do a dollop.
Dollop of water.
Oh man, it killed the nose a little bit for me.
Yeah, it did. That tamped it way down. So that just tells you this is not one you would hit with water, probably.
Unless it does some awesome cool stuff to the flavor, but still get that. I mean, all the flavors are still there. They're just muted a little bit.
Seem to enhance the tannic on it again, so that makes it almost. I don't think I would hit it with water.
Almost like an acidic kind of
of
flavor on it.
That did definitely bring the acid. It didn't have it before, so
it's almost like a woody kind of acid,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes any sense.
So age-wise, what do you you don't really talk about age on these too much. You usually talk about the price, but because of the fact that it seems like it's got a lot of finish from wood, what are you thinking? I'm thinking it's probably got some age to it.
I would say maybe at least 8 to 10-ish, give or take. I mean, I don't know. I'm not an age professional, but I mean it definitely has those woody notes. I would guess probably at least 6 to 8. I would guess more in the 8 to 12 or 8 to 10 at least. What do you think?
I'd put 10 on this. I think it's got at least 10 years on it. It's got some serious time in a barrel.
Yeah, it does. And I'm like I said, I don't usually like to think about it, or say it or anything, but I really think in some sort of finished something. It just has that kind of flavor from the.
I'm getting that hug.
Right.
Right now, I'm getting seriously. There's that warmth there. So
I'm gonna go before I say a price. I'm gonna go back in with the original stuff. And that way, because the watered down was not better in my opinion.
Yeah, don't do that.
So
when we find out what this is, whatever it is, don't add water to it. So one of your commenters on the video mentioned when you inhale, when you take a smell of these, that you should keep your mouth open.
And you definitely should, especially if it's like higher proof stuff. it really helps to do that. So speaking of some comments, we got some awesome comments lately from you guys. Pressman says, thanks for giving the Boar Rye a blind review. Glad you enjoyed it. He's enjoying an earlier batch, 15B05. I don't remember what the batch we had was offhand. It's in the video. I remember saying it. So he says he's going to go pick up some more. Let's see.
I liked that video.
That was a fun one. I really like that bottle, the Boar Rye.
So you probably think less of me when I say this, but I had no idea that the name actually meant bourbon and rye.
Really?
Until I watched the video. So I'm learning every day.
Asking for a friend said, nice review here on the Eagle Rare 10. I'd like to see a blind review of Hancock's Presidential Reserve. So we do have a bottle of that. So, I mean, everything you guys say gets added to the list. We keep a master list of everything, including the stuff everyone asks for, and also everything that we've reviewed with a price list of what we gave it as a price and how much people would be, or how much it goes for retail, and then obviously a ratio on good to bad. So thinking about putting that up there for you guys, or maybe it'll be a Patreon thing or something like that. But
I would definitely like to download that.
It does come in handy, especially when you start up conversations with people and they start talking about different bottles and stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that one. And
when I walk into a store these days,
the Almighty Tuna was the one that said, try opening your mouth and breathing in.
there you go. Yeah.
When you sip. And what that does basically is, when you close your mouth, you get a lot more of that alcohol burn on it. But if you keep your mouth parted, just keeps your lips parted just a little bit, and when you go to, nose it, just kind of breathe in through both of your nose and your mouth at the same time, and that really helps tame a lot of those alcohol flavors, and you can kind of pick out a lot more of the different notes and that kind of stuff.
The what tuna?
The Almighty Tuna.
Almighty Tuna. Thank
Almighty
you.
Tuna.
That was a great tip.
That's a pro tip right there.
That's someone's been doing it a while.
Mm-hmm. Some of the distillery tours, when you go on the distillery tours, they'll tell you, they'll mention that. So, but that's not something you usually get from like your local liquor store owner or anything like that. The Almighty Tuna. Thumbs up on that. Chad Hawley, funny enough, he said, love your videos, would love to see you guys branch out into other styles, maybe American whiskey or American single malts. Awesome concept you guys have here, gets rid of the bias. We appreciate that, and funny actually, we had already taped the Woodford single malt. I'll try and put that right up here for you guys. And so that actually came out like 4 or 5 days after he had posted that comment, so he was excited about that.
Great.
A couple people said that if we want to do the 10 roses, all 10 4 roses, that they'd be in. Me too. So yeah, you guys are awesome. We love you guys. You guys are why we're here. So Jay, have you been thinking of a price on this?
I have.
I think I'm up there a little bit.
I'm going to just go out on a limb and say this is somewhere in the 80-90 range.
I was going to say I'd be willing to pay probably 80 to 100 for it.
Yeah, I think this is going to be something specialty. This is not your usual stuff. It's probably something that it's got an extra title to it. But yeah.
So is that what you'd be willing to pay for it?
I pay 80-90 on this, yeah.
So, like I said, I'm right in there, the 80 to maybe to 100 range.
It's pretty delicious.
It is, especially for something different.
Yeah.
It's not your standard flavors. It's definitely out there.
Super curious.
So, should we see what it is?
Yeah, what is this?
You do it.
All right.
Make it happen. Dun dun dun. Drum roll.
Oh,
man,
there
the
you
Woodford
go.
double oaked.
And that explains everything.
That explains all the woody flavor and kind of cigar flavors and stuff.
Yep, double oaked. Knew it spent some time in a barrel. What is the?
It's not port finish though. It kind of tasted like a finished.
Sure has the fruit though, like a port finish.
Yeah, it does.
And it's not a high proof. It's 45.
It packs a lot of flavor.
That is, and I think that's the whole name says it all. It's double oaked. It's aged twice?
Yeah. So what they do is they age it in a new charred oak barrel, and then after X amount of years, someone may know, someone more of a Woodford fan than I am, but they basically take it and after it numbers X amount of years, they put it in another new charred oak barrel.
Right.
And I gave that some thought a while back, and I almost wonder if you get more of that fresh wood kind of flavor. You know what I mean? That new charred oak barrel. You had said charred wood in there, so that definitely explains that. Yeah, I've seen finished in a second oak barrel, but they didn't say what kind of oak barrel. It could have been a port oak barrel.
Could have been.
Probably not. Trying to save face here.
Now,
trying to save face.
Yeah, because if it was secondarily done in a port barrel, it would they would put that on the label. They would want to say that. So
yeah, this is one that haven't thought too much about. You know what I mean? So whoever recommended this, that we give it a try, appreciate that. That's awesome.
There's quite a few bourbons out there that have the extra time in a double charred barrel. We don't usually compare them. So where I was going with that is, there's things out there like the Joseph Magnus cigar blend whiskey.
Yep.
I have not tried that myself, but I just imagine in my mind this is probably pretty close to what that tastes like. I don't know. So
I have not had the cigar blend either, but it definitely has a lot of that woody. I wouldn't say it's over oaked.
No.
But you do get a lot of that wood flavor.
It's actually in a good way, right?
Yeah.
It actually, to me, comes out in a good way. So it's I'm not a fan of too much wood flavor, but that's really nice. Complex, warm, smooth. It's really a lot of the things you'd like in a drinker.
So I haven't had too much of a problem finding this, but I see people online asking if people know where to get it. So I don't know if in some states it is harder to get. Let us know. While you're down there in the comments, go ahead and put at least one bottle you guys want to see us review, and we will make it happen. Aaron will put it on that master list I was talking about, and go from there.
What's the retail on this? I don't even know.
I don't know either. I want to say somewhere around 50.
Because we said 80, 90, but...
Right. It's definitely not in that 80 range.
No.
It's definitely less than that. I want to say it's in that $40 to $50 range. Like I said, don't quote me on that. It's been a while since
I think, isn't that normal Woodford?
Yeah, normal Woodford's like $39, $40.
Okay, so there's got to be a premium on the double oaked, so... We weren't even close.
Which is a good thing. That's good for us, because that means that we really like it and we should buy more of it. This is honestly a bottle I've had for a while, and probably about a year, because I remember I opened it at the Four Roses 2017 release. So, and here it is 10 months later, and like you guys tell, I haven't given it much thought.
Not much thought. It's like what's left.
In my defense, at that 2017 release, so I went to Kentucky, and I was like, oh, I should bring some bottles. I was like, well, I'll stop on the way and pick some stuff up, not thinking that it was, I don't remember if it was on a weekday or not. I think it should have been on Friday, but when I went, there was an hour time change and all the liquor stores were closed.
No.
While I was driving, and I was like, oh,
the horror,
right? So we show up to this thing, and everyone's got bottles and stuff that they're sharing, and I was like, I don't have anything, and I was like, I have to have a bottle somewhere in my car. Like, somewhere in my car. So I go under the back seat, and
There you go.
I knew I had a bottle in the car somewhere. Usually something stashed away.
I think you have
somewhere.
a problem if you know you.
I know I have a problem.
You have a bottle stashed somewhere in your car. So I know I've got.
Don't judge me. Don't judge me. You gotta wait until you can smuggle it into the house.
Okay, right. That makes more sense.
Yep. So anyway, guys, appreciate y'all. Love you guys. We might be opening up that Patreon soon. Like I said, it's basically just another way to follow us. We'll put the list on there, and it's like $1 a month. But don't feel obligated at all. So anyway, like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. So until next week, guys, drink blind.
And drink often.
Ba-doops.
Nice. Oh my gosh. So it's 90 proof?
Which kind of makes sense. Like, there wasn't a whole lot of ethanol on it, but at
No?
the same time, like, it packed a lot of flavor.
Just a ton of flavor. I've seen this lots of places.
It's all over Tennessee
Yeah.
and Kentucky, Indiana, or not Indiana, Illinois.
I've had regular Woodford. I liked it.
So when I was in the military, we went to a party, and I had the regular Woodford, and I think that's pretty much all I was drinking that night. It was before I was into bourbon, and it was... I don't remember not liking it at the time, but the next morning I woke up, it felt like I was chewing on a piece of cardboard all night long, and I was like, ugh. So for the longest time, that kind of steered me away from that Woodford.
Do you smoke
Woodford
cigars at all?
Not really.
Okay.
I do every now and then, but not...
That's a thing with cigars. So that if you,
right.
when you wake up the next morning after you've smoked a few cigars, you will seriously you'll be running for the bathroom for your toothbrush.
Yeah, that's good.
That is good. So
That's
I really
not what I would have expected.
No, I don't like the wood usually, but that is...
It's very different.
Yeah, the layers on that are great. The fruit mixed in with the wood, that's great.